Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. This your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another quick edifying video. Right, and today's topic is going to be called Demons, Devils, Witches, and Spirits. Right, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kal Hala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekak Radash. Right, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose real name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahweh Shai, right, and the Holy Spirit, right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from Tahar on down, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed the sheep consistently with this truth, right? But like I said, this lesson is called Demons, Devils, Witches, and Spirits, right? And the reason why I came up with that one, I was looking at this article that I got here that you're looking at. It's called, it's from True Crime Daily, right? And it's from from October 7th, right? And it says, Memphis woman named Shine allegedly killed man because it was time to feed her demons, right? So we're going to read a little bit about this, and then we're going to go through some scriptures, right? So, and this is the woman right here. Let's go over it real quick. This is her name is Shapria Williams, right? So it says Memphis. It says a 30-year-old woman faces a murder charge after she allegedly killed a man and left his body in a vacant home. It says Shelby County jail records show Shapria Williams was booked into jail and is being held without bond. She also reportedly faces charges of vehicular burglary and theft of property from February. It says, according to the police report cited by WREG TV on September 23rd, Memphis police went to a vacant home on Gruber Drive where they found Terry Macy deceased. The medical examiner reportedly ruled his death a homicide. WATN TV, which also cites the report, says Macy was found in the back bedroom of an empty home, and he had reportedly been stabbed to death. Williams, who reportedly goes by the name Shine, allegedly told a witness she killed Macy and even showed the knife she used to stab him. Williams allegedly told the witness she killed Macy because it was time to feed her demons, right? So, just looking at this, and then just thinking about what's going on in the world right now and how the love of many has waxed cold, man, right? And the reason for that, man, because it's a lot of spirits on people. It's a lot of spirits on people, and it's a real thing, you know. Let's get into some scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible talks about spirits, talks about witches, like sorcery, the whole nine, right? So let's get into that. But first, so she said that it was time to feed her demons. So one thing I want to do, just go into it, right? We're going to go into Salakia here. We're going to stay here. We're going to look up the definition of demon, right? Okay. Salakia. So it says demon. It says an evil spirit or devil, especially one thought to possess a person or act as a tormentor in hell, right? So what we don't understand is, well, Salak, I mean, I understand, but most people don't understand is when we're talking about hell, right? There's two types of hell. There's like a condition of hell, right? Which we're living in, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're living in our hell or a lower state, right? Or it's the grave, right? So we got to understand that, so these evil spirits are tormenting us, right? In this lower state that we're in right now. So they're tormenting us in our hell that we're living in right now, right? Our condition that we're living in, right? There's a lot of people when you walk through our neighborhood, man. You see a lot of people who have it might be schizophrenia or whatever. You see people talking to themselves, fighting themselves, and doing all that stuff, and that's those spirits that are on people, man, right? That are having people act that way, right? When you go down to the depths of it, right? They call it medical conditions, they call it this and they call it that, but it's they're spirits that are on people that are affecting people and what they're doing, right? So that's what a demon says. It's an evil spirit, right? One thought to possess a person or act as a tormentor in hell, right? So let's get to this. Let's get to the definition of a devil, right? Let's get this. Salakia. All right. This is Matthew 4:1, right? And we're just gonna look in the blue letter and see what devil means. And it says it means it says diabolus. Let's read it.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
So diabolus, right? And it says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, right? A culminator, a false accuser, a slanderer, right? It says applied to a man who by the opposing of the cause of the Most High may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him, right? So a false accuser or a deceiver, right? That's what devil actually means, right? So, and who's the top devil on this planet, man, right? Would be Esau, right? Because he's the top deceiver, he's the top slanderer, false accuser, right? He does it all, right? He is, the child of Satan, right? So let's get this real quick. Let's go into, and so we know that these things are true, right? But we know we're not supposed to be dealing with stuff like this. We're not supposed to be dealing with, on the left hand side, man. That's where these devils and these spirits, they come from. You know what I'm saying? We should be on the right hand of righteousness, right? With Yahweh Shai, right? But let's get this real quick. Let's go to, and we know that Yahweh Shai cast out devils, right? So let's get that. Let's get this. Let's go to the book of Luke, right? Chapter 4. And let's go to verse 40, right? And it reads, it says, now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with diverse diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, thou art Hamashiach, the Son of the Most High. And he, rebuking them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was Hamashiach, right? So Yahweh Shai was casting out these devils, right? Or these spirits that have taken over these people, man. Right, he cast out a lot of devils out of people, man, out of the children of Israel. Right, they were bringing them, by the handfuls, by the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Possibly the thousands. And he was constantly, whenever he was going out and preaching, he was healing and he was casting these devils off his people. Right, so we know that these things are true. Right. Let's get this. Let's stay in the book of Luke. Let's go to verse 13 and 32, right? And it reads, and he said unto them, go ye and tell that fox, right? I think he's talking about Herod right here. Salakia. I'll start at verse 31. It says, the same day there came certain of Pharisees saying unto him, get thee out and depart hence, for Herod will kill thee. And he said unto them, go ye and tell that fox, behold, I cast out devils, and I do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. Right? So he was talking to Herod, right? And he's telling him, hey, let him know, man. Right? I'm casting out devils, right? I'm casting out these evil spirits out of my people, man. Right? And I'm gonna do it today and I'm gonna do it tomorrow. right? Let's get another one, right? Because we got to understand that, if we believe Yahweh Shai and we believe these scriptures, then we must believe these things which came to fruition, right? So if we know that Yahweh Shai was out here casting out devils and spirits out of people, man, right? Then we know that this thing actually exists, right? So why is it not hard to believe, when that sister was talking about, hey, it was time to feed her demons, right? Because they're on our people and they're on our people heavy, right? Let's get this, right? Because there's also, it talks about witches too, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus, right? What is it? 22 and verse number 18. And it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, right? And this is in the book of the law, right? This is in the first 5 books. It tells us not to suffer a witch to live, right? And let's look at that, right? Let's go to this. Let's go to it and see what it is. This is 22 and Salakia 18. Let's go to the inner liner, right? And witch, right? Let's see this.
Strong's H 3784. Kashaf.
Kasap, right? But it says to practice witchcraft or sorcery or use witchcraft. It says a sorcerer or sorceress, right? So sorcerers, witch or witchcraft, right? So, and what we know, right? When you come into this understanding and you understand that a lot of the stuff that Esau has put in front of us a lot of it is sorcery, man. A lot of this stuff is sorcery. It's sorcery and witchcraft, and they use that to kind of dull the people and cover their eyes, man, of what's going on, right? And right now, Babylon, or what we call America, has put a sorcery or a spell on the whole world, right? And the Lord is right now, Yahweh Bashim Shai is casting that down, right? As he starts to wake up his people, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he's casting away that spell, and he's opening the eyes of our people so that we can see what's going on, right? So that we can see actually what's actually happening right now, right? And so it's like that. It's that sorcery, man, right? And that's why the Bible tells you that thou shalt not suffer a witch, right, to live, right? Because they're dealing on that left hand side, man, and we have no business dealing on the left hand side, right? Because when we deal with that, then we see our people bugged out. We see stuff, going on, and that's not what we, like Saul, right? If you remember, when Saul was trying to contact Samuel, right, in the spirit world, right, and he's like, "Yo, why did you wake?" Samuel was like, "Yo, why did you wake me, man? What are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? You over here trying. Now he said, "In this day, you shall be here with me." Right? In the spirit world, meaning that he was going to die, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're not supposed to be dealing with that, man. That's that left-hand side. And a lot of our people are on the left-hand side. Like even when you think about the Levites, right? Or the Haitians, right? They have those gifts, because those were the priests of the Lord, right? But when they went off and started, to not follow the laws, then they start going on the left hand side. That's why you got like voodoo. That's why you got all these other things, this sorcery and this other stuff that they use, right? That they got going on. The Northern Kingdom, right? They got into a lot of idolatry and sorcery, here, right? Here in America too, as well, man. So it's relevant, man. It's relevant, and it's in the scriptures, and it's in the scriptures for a reason, right? Let's go to let's get another one, right? Let's go to the book of Leviticus, right? Chapter 19, and let's go to verse number 31. And it reads, it says, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh, your power. right? The Most High God Yahweh tells us to not deal with these familiar spirits, man, and these wizards, right? These witches, all this left hand craftiness, man. He tells us not to deal with that, man. Right? It says to be defiled by them, right? It says neither seek after them, right? So we shouldn't be seeking after them, and we shouldn't be seeking. What is that? Uh, is it Jeremiah 10:1? Right? Learn not the ways of the heathen, man. The heathen are all into the astrology. They're all into the, you know, the birth months and all that stuff. We're not supposed to be dealing with that, man. All that stuff is like the left side, man. Right? You have the left side and you have the right side, man. Right? You have unholiness and then you have holiness. You have righteousness. You have unrighteousness. Right? We are supposed to be on the righteous side, man. Right? And the righteous side is that holiness, right? That set apartness through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? So let's get this. Let's go to Deuteronomy, right? 18, and let's go to verse 10, right? And it reads, there shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, right? So this is strictly in the law, man. It tells us we should not be doing this, right? It says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, right? That's those what do you call those psychics and all that stuff, man. Or a wizard or a necromancer, like you talking to those people that talk to the dead, man. Right? That Saul was trying to get, so he can get in touch with Samuel, man. Right? We're not supposed to be dealing with that. Right? We're not supposed to be dealing with that. And it tells us, specifically though, we should not be dealing with that. Right? But yet our people, they do all that stuff. They play with the little Ouija boards and they play with all this little craziness, man. Right? Leave that stuff alone, man. That's not for us, man. Right? Let's get this. Let's go to the book of Mark, right? Let's go to the book of Mark. Chapter 5. We'll start at verse number 1, right? It says, and they came unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Right? And just think about that. Think about it in your life when you've seen some people, man, where you think, man, hey, man, something is on them, man. Like, there's some spirits on them. And you could kind of tell sometimes, too, man. Right? It kind of resonates off their aura, man. Like, hey, there's something up with that person, man. Right? Their spirit is not right, man. Right? And that's how we know Esau, too. Because we can tell that his spirit is not right, man. It's not on the right-hand side, man. Right? Let's read. It says, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, what have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou son of the Most High? I adjure thee by the Most High that thou torment me not. For he said unto me, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, my name is Legion, for we are many. Right? So this man had many spirits on him. Right? Many left-handed spirits on him, man. Right? It says, and he besought him much that he would not send him away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Yahushua gave them leave, and the unclean spirits went out, and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. There were about 2,000 and were choked in the sea, right? 2,000 of them, of these swines. That's how it said many, man, right? But when you read it, it's like 2,000 swines, right? That were possessed with spirits, and they ran off a cliff, man, and were choked in the sea. They basically drowned in the sea, man, right? They ran violently down into a steep place, like off a cliff, man, right? Into the sea, right? And that's one thing why we that's another reason why we shouldn't be eating pork, man. Pork and swine, man. That's how unclean it is, man. Right? Your house side put the demons or the spirits into the swine, man. Right? They wanted to go into the swine, right? They felt better going into the swine. So we got to be careful about that too, right? So, like I say, this stuff is legitimate, man, but we just got to make sure we're not dealing with that, right? And let's get this real quick about the left-hand side and the right-hand side too, right? Let's go to 1 Kings, right? 22, and let's start at verse number 19. And this is 1 Kings 22 and verse 19, and he said, "Hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left." Right? So on the right hand, right, you have the good angels, right? You probably got, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, on that right hand side. And on that left hand side, you got Satan, right? And his evil angels or evil spirits, man, that he's got, right? But guess what? They all answer to Yahweh, right? There is no disorder. There's no confusion in heaven, right? They all know who is in control, right? And we know that it's Yahweh, right? Through Yahweh Shai, right? And it says, and Yahweh said, "Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?" And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, "I will persuade him." And Yahweh said unto him, "Wherewith?" And he said, "I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets." And he said, "Thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so." Right? That's just telling you too that, hey, they can't do anything without the Most High Yahweh's approval. They can't, even the demons and the spirit, hey, they can't do nothing unless they get that go ahead, right? Unless they get that go ahead, right? So, for all those people who say, "Oh, well, Satan had fought in the heavens and did," nah, man, Satan is in order just like all the rest of the evil spirits are in order, and they can only do what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai tells them that they can do, right? It says, "Now therefore, behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh has spoken evil concerning thee." Right? So he controls the left hand side and the right hand side. Right? He has those, who are the righteous, and then he has the unrighteous, man. Right? So we got to understand that, man. These things exist, right? Let's get this. Let's get another. It's the same account, right? Just a different book, right? This is 2 Chronicles 18, and we're gonna start at verse 18 again, right? And it says, "And he said, therefore, hear the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And Yahweh said, Who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then there came out a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will entice him. And Yahweh said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And Yahweh said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Right? So, they got to get their permission before they can even do all that stuff, man. Right? They got to get permission from Yahweh Shem Yahshai before they can do anything. Right? These spirits can't do anything without the Most High giving them the A-OK. Right? But they do exist, man. Right? Let's get this. Let's go to the book of Job, right? And this is an example too. This is book of Job 1 and chapter 6, or chapter 1 and verse 6, and it says, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. And Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered and said, and answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. Right? So, Satan answers to the Most High. Satan answers to the Most High, and he can only do, because when you read the book of Job, right, he says, hey, have you considered my servant Job? Right? He's like, well, and then, they kind of go back and forth, but Yahweh says, let me read it. Let me just go to it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. It says, what did she say? Said until he has. Okay, here we go. This is verse 12, right? This is I'll read verse 9 real quick. It says, then Satan answered and said, Yahweh, and said to Yahweh, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. It says, put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Right? So he gave him the power to touch everything that he had. It says, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. Right? So he told him what he could touch and what he couldn't touch. Right? And Satan was like, hey, no, I'm not going to. No, hey, Satan is obedient to the Most High. And he does that work on the left-hand side. Right? Just how Gabriel, right, and Yahweh Shai and all on the right-hand side, right, they're obedient to what the Most High asked them to do. Right? Let's get this, right? Let's go to the book of Acts. Right? Let's go to the book of Acts. So these things definitely do exist, right? That's why they're in the Bible. We shouldn't be dealing with these left-handed spirits, man. Right? Our power is on the right-hand side, and we need to stick to the right-hand side of righteousness, right? With our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? This is the book of Acts, chapter 19, and let's go to verse 11, right? And it reads, and the Most High wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and disease departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. Right? So the evil spirits went out of them, right? Like that sister was talking about, hey, she had to feed the demons, man. Right? But Paul was able to cast out these evil spirits. It says, then a certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, saying, we adjure thee by Yahweh Shai, whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed them against, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. Right? So so that's what I'm saying. That even the spirits, they know who are the Lord's and who are not. Right? Like you saw, it said, he's like, hey, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, hey, they went and jumped on him, man. So that's why we have to stay, you know, under our protection, man, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Because these evil spirits can jump on us, man. Right? So we gotta stay under our protection, man, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And let's get this. This is the book of Luke, right? The book of Luke, chapter 22, and I'm gonna go to verse 31, and it reads, and Yahweh Shai said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Right? Let me read that again, Salakia. It's the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. It says, Then Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Right? So Satan was trying, just like he was doing Job, he was trying to sift out Peter, man. Right? Which we know through the Spirit, right, is David, right? King David, right? But that's on a deeper level, man. But it says, I have prevailed, because Simon is Peter, Salakia. Simon is Peter. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Right? So it's very important, that we pray and we have the faith, man, right, to be able to adhere and get away from the wails of the devil, man, who's trying to seek to sift us out, man, out of this truth, man. Right? Every day, all day, man. He's working. He's constantly working, man. Right? One of the hardest workers that Yahweh got, man. He's constantly trying to find that window, that opportunity. And that's why we got to stay prayed up, right? We got to stay, focused and making sure that each other is in a sound mind and body, and staying faithful and true, right? And staying diligent in this thing, because you can be sifted out, man. Right? Let's get this. Let's go to the book of Matthew, right? Chapter 17. We're going to go to verse number 14. And it reads, And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. For oftentimes he falleth into the fire, and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. Right? So Yahushua has that power just to, hey man, listen, man, get going, man. Right? His faith and his stuff is mighty, man. Right? But the disciples, they couldn't get it out. Right? It says, then the disciples came to Yahushua apart and said, why could we not cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence yonder place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. But he reads, howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting, right? So by prayer and fasting, you got to get some of these devils in these evil spirits off of you, man, and off of your family members and your brothers, man. But you like Howard Shai said, you got to have the faith as a grain. Even if you had the faith as a grain of a mustard seed, man, you got to believe, man, right? You got to ask the Lord to help your unbelief if you want to cast these demons and these devils off of you, man, right? And off of whoever. And you got to you got to fast and pray, you know. Because that's what Yahweh Shai said. It says, how that this goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting, man. Right? That's how you're going to get some of these evil spirits off of you, man. And these evil spirits off of people, man. You got to fast and pray. Right? Let's get a couple more. Or Salaki. Now we're going to get, let's just get one more. Right? Let's go to the book of Ephesians, right? So we gotta make sure that we stay focused in this thing, man. Right? Because they're constantly, and the thing is, we can't see it. We can see the spirits and stuff that are around us trying to infiltrate us, man. We go crazy, man. We go crazy. But when you start playing with that left-hand side, hey, you might see some stuff that you don't want to be seeing. And you might experience some stuff that you don't want to see, man. That's why we got to stay focused and stay hidden in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, who is our protector, who is our shepherd, right? Who is our redeemer, man, right? And who is our power ultimately, right? So let's go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, and we'll start at verse number 11. We'll read on down, right, to 18. 11, right? So it says, finally, I'll read it, verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might, right? Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? Because guess what? These spirits are always going to be trying you, man. And you got to be able to stay protected in the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against rulers of darkness, right? That sorcery, that wizardry, right? That they try to infiltrate us with, of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, right? That left-handed side, that left-handed spirits, man, right? That's what we're ultimately fighting against, right? Because they're jumping on these devils, right? They're jumping on, Esau, right? They're jumping on some of our people, right? Who talk about they got to feed the demons, right? These things exist, man. So we got to be able to make sure, we got to understand first what we're fighting. And a lot of times when we're out there, like even when we're teaching, right, and we can see the spirits coming up, right, and we know, that there's spirits on these people, man, right, and we got to understand that, that spiritual aspect. And so it says, wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, right? And that truth, right, is this righteousness, is Yahweh Shai, right? And having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. And it says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, right? So you're just gonna be getting just shot at with these spiritual left-handed side things, man, that's gonna be coming at you. You got to be able to block those, man, with your shield of faith, man. You got to have that belief in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that he's gonna protect you and he's gonna save you, right? As that shepherd does his sheep, right? We hear his voice and we follow him, because and the sheep are gonna follow the shepherd wherever he goes, right? Because he is their protection, and that's how we got to be. We got to be as those sheep, right? It says, and above, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Right, that sword, right? We always talk about we got our swords with us. Our sword, it's a spiritual sword, man. Right? It can cut, like it says, this word cuts like a two-edged sword, man. Right? So we use this sword to cut and pierce and dice and slice, right, these devils, man, right, through the spirit, right, through the word of the Most High. It says praying always with prayer and supplication in the spirit, and watching therein too with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, right? So the saints of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites, right? When you go to the precepts, man, right? And it says, and for me, the utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, right? So we gotta make sure that we are prepared, and we got on our whole armor of the Most High, right? Because guess what? The devils, they're trying to find that chink in your armor, right? So we got to make sure that our armor is on, is tight, is secure, right? And it's gonna stop all the fiery darts, right, of the wicked, right? And we know that this is a spiritual warfare, right? It's the spiritual warfare, man. There's witches, there's demons, there's devils out there, right? There's evil left-handed spirits that are out here trying to take you away from knowing who you are, right? From taking you away from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? But if you are of the elect, hey, whatever matter which, like what does Paul say? Nor death, nor height, nor sea, nor anything can take you away from the love of the Most High, man. Right? If you the elect, hey, you not going you gonna continue to follow the shepherd, which is Yahweh Shai, man. Right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you're gonna finish to follow that, man. And you just gotta make sure that you understand that, and you keep your eye focused on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Like it said, Matthew 6:33, seek ye the kingdom, right? And its righteousness, and all things shall be granted unto you. Hey, you gotta stay focused in these things, man, because there's devils, there's demons, there's witches, there's sorcery. Hey, they're all around you, man. And the only way that you can survive through this, man, is gonna be through Yahweh Hashem Shai, through this word, right? And following what these scriptures tell you to do, right? So with that, I hope this has been edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Kal Hala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash, peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Stay diligent, stay focused, right? And watch out for these devils and these demons, man, right? And these evil spirits. And you see they're on our people too, man, right? You see this lady right here, man. Where's she at? Let me see if I can get her real quick. You know, they're on our people, man, right? So we gotta beware. We gotta beware and always be on point, man, because we know, hey, it could be that they're right around you, and they're looking. They're looking to try to sift you out, man. So we got to be strong in this thing, man. Stay faithful. Keep praying for one another. Stay diligent, right? And with that, a mighty shalom.